Welcome to this edition of the Click and Pledges Fundraising Command Center Deep Dive, where we explore the why, the what, and the how in the Click and Pledges ecosystem. Today, we are firmly planted in the what series, and we're going to be talking about one of the most powerful tools you have, but one that's, well, often overlooked, the autoresponder.
It really is. Most people see it as just, a necessary evil. It's a thing that spits out the tax receipt, transaction approved, done.
The technicality.
Exactly. But our mission today is to completely change that view. We want to transform that generic, boring notification into a hyper-personalized connection, a real relationship-building tool.
So we're moving from transaction to signal.
That's the perfect way to put it. A donation isn't just a transaction. It's a powerful signal of deep, specific interest from a donor. And that signal demands a specific response.
Okay, that's a huge shift in thinking, away from just compliance and toward building a relationship automatically. So where do we start? How do we achieve that kind of personalization?
It all starts with the first and I think the most critical trigger, and that's the item SKU.
SKU. 3 letters.
3 letters. SKU, stock keeping unit. It's so powerful because it captures the exact thing the donor chose to support.
So instead of just seeing a $50 donation, the system sees a $50 donation for this specific thing.
Precisely. Let's use the pet sanctuary example. It makes it really clear.
Okay.
Imagine you have 2 donors. Both give $50. Donor A wants to sponsor a tiger. Donor B wants to sponsor a horse.
In a basic system, they both get the same email. Thank you for your gift.
And that's such a missed opportunity. It's a failure of listening. With our system, when it detects the unique SKU for the horse sponsorship, it fires a template built only for horse lovers.
What would that look like?
It might have a photo from the stables, maybe some details on the rescue horse's diet, or even a link to a video introducing their new friend.
So the person who loves tigers doesn't get an email about, hey.
Exactly. The tiger donor gets a completely different email. Jungle imagery, facts about conservation, updates on anti-poaching patrols. It shows them instantly and automatically that you saw their specific passion.
You listened to what they were trying to tell you with their money.
That's it. The acknowledgement matches the intent. It works for anything. Arts, education, you name it. The system just detects the item and fires the perfect template.
Okay, so that nails the content. But what about the timing? There's always this conflict, right? You have to send the tax receipt immediately.
You do. That's non-negotiable.
But an immediate administrative email isn't usually the one that builds that deep emotional connection.
That's the crucial distinction. Tax compliance versus emotional resonance. The immediate receipt is just proof of transaction. It's the boring part, the emotional high point, the relationship builder that can wait.
For maximum impact.
For maximum impact. And that brings us to the delayed send option, which is built right into the autoresponder settings.
So you can set up a completely separate second email to go out later. But how much later? Is there a sweet spot?
That's a great question. We find that 24 or 48 hours is perfect. By then, the financial part of it is off their mind. They're not thinking about it anymore.
It becomes a surprise.
It's all about the surprise. Think about the little Susie or little Jimmy sponsorship model.
Okay.
The donor gives the money. They immediately get that technical, boring tax receipt. Check. That's done.
The administrative part is handled.
Right. Then, 2 days later, 48 hours later, a second autoresponder fires. A totally different one. This one is warm, it's personal. Maybe it has a picture of little Susie holding a sign that says, "Thank you, donor's name."
Wow. So you're holding back the most valuable emotional content to deliver it when they least expect it.
Yes. You're weaponizing the surprise element. It feels incredibly personal, even though the delivery was completely automated.
Yeah.
It hits differently.
That turns the relationship from I paid a bill to I made a real difference.
It absolutely does. And that feeling sticks around long after the transaction is forgotten. It's huge for retention.
So we have what they donated to with the SKU and the when to communicate with the delayed send. But you're saying the system listens to even more than that?
Oh, yeah. It listens to the entire context, the
Yeah.
how and the where they donated. This adds a whole other layer of sophistication.
Let's start with the where. What do you mean by that?
We handle that using what we call trackers. So think about 2 $50 donations. One comes from your main homepage.
Okay, just the general donate button.
Right, that signals general support. Maybe it's a planned gift. But what if the second $50 gift comes from a dedicated urgent flood relief landing page?
That's a totally different donor mindset. That's urgency. That's an emotional reaction to a crisis.
And that's what the tracker captures. It's a hidden value in the URL that tells the system where the donation came from. So the email has to be different.
So the homepage donor gets a more measured thank you, maybe focused on long-term vision?
Correct. But the flood relief donor, they get an email with high-impact imagery. It says something like, your $50 just helped deliver 3 emergency kits. It matches the urgency they felt.
That's incredible context sensitivity. Okay, so that's the where. What about the how? The donation medium?
Right. The system knows if you donated via a standard web form on your mobile device or through something specialized like Pledge TV.
And Pledge TV is a great example here. Can you explain that a bit?
Sure. So Pledge TV is our browser-based video player. It lets a nonprofit show a documentary or a presentation and accept donations right inside the video stream. No ads.
So I'm watching a powerful story on my computer, I get inspired, and I can click donate right there in the player.
Right there, instantly. Now, if you do that and you get an email that says, thanks for visiting our website.
That's a huge disconnect. It breaks the spell.
It's a total failure of context. The system knows the donation came via Pledge TV, so the autoresponder should say something like, we hope you enjoyed the documentary. Thank you for supporting the mission you just saw on screen.
It connects the gift directly back to the content that inspired it.
It makes the whole experience seamless.
And there's one more trigger that feels absolutely critical for avoiding, well, a disaster: custom questions.
Oh, this is a big one. You have to get this right. Imagine on your form you have a question that asks, is this donation in memory of someone?
And the donor checks yes.
The last thing you can do is send them a cheerful, celebratory email with balloons and party graphics.
Oh, that would be terrible.
It would be awful. So if that custom question field is answered, the autoresponder instantly triggers a completely different template, one that's solemn, respectful, and confirms the dedication. It avoids any celebratory language. That sensitivity is what defines a professional operation.
So you're building this multi-layered set of rules, SKU, trackers, mediums, custom questions, all working together to make sure the right email fires at the right time.
It's a true command center for your communications.
Okay, so this brings us to the final piece. And this is where it gets really forward-thinking. You're saying the receipt isn't just a thank you for the past. It's the bridge to the next gift.
It absolutely has to be, and that bridge is a very specific tool we recommend, the AI link.
The AI link, what does it do?
Well, it solves the 2 biggest points of friction for repeat donors. First one is just inconvenience.
Having to type in your name and address and credit card all over again.
Nobody wants to do that. It's frustrating. So benefit number 1 is 0 friction. The donor clicks that AI link in their email receipt, and a new form opens with all their contact info, name, address, email securely autofilled.
That's huge. It respects their time.
It does. But the second part is where the real intelligence comes in. We call it the IntelliBooster. This is the AI feature.
The IntelliBoost. Okay, so what's it boosting?
It's boosting the relevance of your ask. You know those generic donation buttons you always see? $25, $50, $100?
Sure, they're everywhere.
Well, they're often a terrible ask. If you're a major donor who usually gives $500, seeing a suggestion for $50 feels, I don't know, inefficient. But if you're a first-time donor, seeing $100 might scare you away.
So the IntelliBooster gets rid of that generic ask.
It does. It analyzes that specific donor's historical giving data within your system. It looks at their past gift amounts, how often they give, and it adapts the suggested donation buttons on the form to match their capacity.
So if my last few gifts were around $500, the buttons I see might be, say, $450, $550, $750.
Exactly. It gives them relevant, appropriate suggestions designed to maximize their generosity. It makes giving effortless and strategically optimized at the same time.
You're planting a seed for the future in every single receipt.
You're turning a passive piece of communication into an active retention tool. The receipt isn't the end of the story. With the AI link, it's the beginning of the next one.
This has been, wow, a really critical deep dive. We've gone from a simple receipt to a smart retention tool that listens to SKU, timing, context from Pledge TV or trackers, and then actively plans for the future with the AI link and IntelliBooster.
It really changes everything. And the final thought we want to leave you with is this. When you start truly listening to the why behind every single dollar, the intent, the context, the medium, how dramatically does that change how you structure your entire donor communication strategy, far beyond just your receipts?
For more information about this and all Click and Pledge products, make sure to visit clickandpledge.com and request for a one-on-one training or demo. Whether you are a client or curious about our platform, just ask us and we will gladly get together with you to chat. And don't forget to subscribe to this deep dive to stay up to date with all the latest and greatest features of the Click and Pledge Fundraising Command Center.